All right, welcome to part 5, the entrepreneurial nervous system. So if you want to make a lot of money in network marketing, you're going to have to become an entrepreneur, spirit, soul, body, right? You like everything safe in little boxes, you can make hobby level income with network marketing, not large amount of money, and you're not going to enjoy the process as much. So I want to talk to you about something very interesting, that you actually have 3 brains, okay? And if you understand these 3 brains and the role they play in your life and business, then you're going to be able to move forward easier. Okay, so here we go. Now, by brain, I mean an organ that has nerve signaling going from the organ out, more nerve signaling going out than in. Does that make sense? So here we go. This brain between your ears, we're going to call it the admin/managers. This brain likes to know how everything's going to happen, right? It likes the sequential steps. It likes to keep things safe, okay? Like exactly how this is going to work out. In network marketing, it would look like this. Oh, cool. Well, I'm going to sign up, and these 4 friends of mine are going to do it, and then we're going to do this. And it's like, I already see the 5 sequential steps for the next year on exactly how this is going to work out. Newsflash, it doesn't work like that. You're going to be shocked that your business is going to build way different than you think, right? And if you don't understand that, when your 3 friends totally ghost you, you're going to be like, it doesn't work, right? Well, it does, but it doesn't work sequentially like that, right? So number 1 brain, the admin managers. The number 2 brain, your gut, your enteric brain, right? So your gut has 8 times more nerve signaling going out than in. But we're going to call your gut the board of directors, right? It's very important to understand that it's the seat of intuition. Man, this can help you really make some good moves in network marketing. Like sometimes, don't get involved with that company even though it looks shiny on the outside, or this person's sketchy. Or on the good side, it's like, something about this, I want more information, right? I remember being in San Francisco, and I had a booth, and I was presenting this certain product, and I'm next to a whole bunch of other booths, and there's lots of people walking past. And I'll never forget this. One guy walks past, Jesse Gutierrez, and he walks past, and he stops, and he looks at the booth, and he goes, "What is this? Something about this. I really need information." So his intuition had gone ping. I'm like, this is something that I need to look into, right? So that can be very helpful, okay? But for the long term, we need the entrepreneur, the CEO, the founder, okay? And that's in your heart, okay? So we're going to call the heart here, we're going to call it the CEO, okay? And the CEO has vision for what's going to be built. He may not totally understand how we're going to get there, though, okay? So neurologically, this heart, right, its job is to tell this brain, this brain's job is to tell the brain between your ears it's safe to move forward into uncertainty and unpredictability, right? Now, here's a very interesting thing on a spiritual level. The Bible says faith is of the heart, right? And so one of the things as an entrepreneur that you have to be very comfortable with is uncertainty and unpredictability, right? You don't know exactly how this is going to work out. You don't know what team member is going to do it, who's not going to, where it's going to come from, how are you going to overcome these setbacks, right? You have no idea, right? But you have to be able to look at a bit of chaos and go, we have a vision. I can see the vision. Faith is the hand that reaches out and doesn't come back empty. So my faith has reached out in the future and grabbed a hold of the end result and has come back. And I'm letting the vision for the future, right, impact what I'm thinking, feeling, saying, and doing. And as a result, then I can be very open to outside the box things on how it's all going to work out, right? Because especially in this industry, the way it's going to work out could shock you. Does that make sense? Maybe you're super diligent about doing your follow-ups and recruiting people in this very systematic way, and it's not working, right? But you're always looking for how could it work out. And you're in the coffee shop one day and you strike up a conversation with the person behind you, and you have the right skill set, which we're going to teach you on how to talk to new people in a way that gets them to ask, what are you doing? And in a way that you convey the information back that they are curious enough to look into it, right? Maybe the person you talk to in the line is all of a sudden super interested and they go and make you $1 million. Like, you cannot plan that. That's not a technique like, on Tuesday, I'm going to go to the coffee shop, I'm going to meet a person in line and I'm going to recruit them. That's like, that doesn't, you can't plan for that, right? I've met people, on the tops of hikes in Greece and recruited them because they're a medical doctor from Canada. Does that make sense? Super interested, random, like, why? But we're always looking for opportunity everywhere, So remember, admin CEOs, who gets paid more? You want to get paid CEO level income or admin income? Okay, well, you're gonna have to adopt the mindset and the approach and the nervous system then of the CEO founder, who says what? He goes, we have a vision. This is what we're doing. I don't have to know exactly the steps, but I know we can overcome it, right? I'll give you a crazy example. Elon Musk, talk about an entrepreneur. Does that make sense? When he bought Twitter/X, they had all these servers, centers all over the country. He's like, we don't need this many. He's like, we got to get rid of it, go down to 1 from 3. They're like, no. What do the admins say? They're like, no, it's impossible. He's like, no, do it. They're like, okay, it'll take 6 months. Right? He's on his private jet. I think it was right around Thanksgiving or something. And one of his cousins was on the plane with him. And they're like, dude, we could totally do that ourselves, right? He's like, screw it, let's do it right now. So they hook a U-turn in the plane, they land in Sacramento, they rent a U-Haul truck, and they go to where the servers are being held, right? And they have to convince security to let them in, like, hello, I'm the new owner. And they get in there and they're like, how are we gonna do this? So he borrows a pocket knife from his security dude, and they cut the cables and they grab the things and they put it in the van and they take it out. Now they had a couple days of, the system was a little glitchy, right? But it all worked out, right? So that's the CEO founder of like, this is what we're doing. And all the admin CEOs go, no, it's not possible. I don't see exactly how it's going to be safe. He's like, do it anyway. Here's where we're going. So have fun as an entrepreneur. Be wholehearted, okay? And understand that the only way you can be wholehearted is not, we're not attached to never failing, right? You're going to have plenty of failures, but make sure that your value and your identity are dependent on something more solid, like divine unconditional love for you, and not what people think of you and how am I performing and what institutions, how do they honor me, okay? So have fun, embrace that CEO mindset, look at the chaos and be like, this is going to be amazing what we're going to create. And I'm not sure how we're going to overcome all these challenges, but I'm excited.